a kind of a club and a story that you can fall in love with, given the way that they are performing against the odds, against these bigger sides. Micah?
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute amazing story. I think a lot of people looking at this fixture and thinking, OK, first leg, was it a fluke? By no means was it a fluke at all. This team has got real quality. They showed that against Dortmund, showed that against Atletico away. And then to beat Inter twice is just an amazing achievement. What a story it is. And they fully deserve it because they've got some top quality players. I know it was going to be difficult. They had to ride a luck at times in that low block. But then when they go forward with numbers. They got that impetus. And most importantly, they got that quality. Hauge, how we pronounce his name. He is a special talent. He really is.
Well, you better learn. We're going to speak to him.
Oh, well, he can tell me later.
I mean, I guess you look at the first leg and you think you had the kind of the excuses of the sub-zero conditions, the plastic pitch. It's hard to justify now, Jamie.
No, it is. And listen, it's not a great look for Inter Milan, but I was really interested in seeing the coach at the end, Kivu, and the way he sort of shook the hand of the opposition coach, Bodo Glimt, and you could see there was a respect there, a bit like you were better. Mm-hmm. You were better in both legs in this game. But when you think about Inter Milan with a budget of 230 million to Bodo Glimt with 66 million, it tells you the big difference between the clubs. But listen, we know that through the names, the history. But the really impressive thing when you think of actually the football is that we're watching this team, and I did the analysis before the game, and we're talking about them being compact and difficult to beat, and it was tough for Inter Milan in the first half. But don't forget, they dominate their own league. So it's very difficult to be a team who, when you play in your own league, you dominate the ball, you're on the ball, and then when you come up against supposedly superior opposition, you can play a game where you only have 30% of the ball. Normally, teams are one or the other. Because of the situation they find themselves in the league they're from as well, they can do both. And honestly, I've loved watching them, loved analysing them today and doing the clips before the game. And I thought Inter would find a way somehow of just sneaking through. But I thought it would be really tough for them. But I'm absolutely delighted they're through because they deserve it.
You saw the pictures of the empty stands over there. Obviously, Inter fans had long filed out. But for the fans that made that trip, this is such a special experience for those players who probably never imagined that they would be in this situation. It's got to be an incredible moment in their careers.
It is, but what's incredible, and I don't want to not talk about what you said because the story is outstanding, but I really want to go about what we talked about. We talk about money, we talk about names. Nothing beats a team. I don't care what you say. Now, if you have money and you have names and you have a team, then you do trebles. If you don't have that, I don't care about your money. What they do, they attack and they defend together, regardless of where they are, whether they're low, whether they're in the middle, where they attack, obviously, as I just said. That's a proper team. And we should all, remember that it's a team game. We always talk about it. That's exactly what football should be about. And that's a lesson for everybody to watch. Kids, that's a team. And I love the best thing that I love tonight, for me, is what Hauge did, or Hauge, however his name is. When he scored, he celebrated. Then he looked at his guy. I think it was Bloomberg that arrived 1v1 on the mistake of Akanji. And he looked at him and said, why you didn't pass the ball? You love, but that's the message. That's a team that wants to fight for each other, for one another. We've seen it everywhere in Europe, by the way, because they did. And we talked and we mentioned it. We talked about the pitch. Yes, they played like that against Dortmund. They played like that against Atletico. They played like that again tonight. And I was wondering if the big dogs, when I say the big dogs, obviously Inter Milan, could just, okay, you embarrassed us at your place. Show us what you can do. Well, they did show you exactly what a team is about. And Inter is not that team anymore. That was very lethargic. You could see what they were about to do. Nobody was dribbling. Crosses very early, very predictable to what they were doing and how they approached the game. But again, like I said, I love to see a team like that. It's very refreshing in the sense that this is how football should be. It doesn't matter what you have here, or the name at the back is what you have in your heart, and that's what you see with Bodo Glimt. That's all it is. So well done to them, well deserved. I don't have anything to say with Inter or whatever. You deserve to be there by a mile.
Let's take you out to Milan. There we go. Alessandro, Marco, what are your thoughts? How do you process that one?
It's hard to not appreciate the Cinderella story of Bodo, and their approach to the match was just fantastic. They were organized, defended, and then allowed them to make the mistake. And when you look back at it, Ale, what we kept saying, it's the first leg that probably gives you a lot of disappointment, and they were never able to get it going tonight.
Yeah, you say right, and then Thierry bring a great point. Team is a victory by a team, and everything they do, they play as a team. And I want to add one more thing: the love of the game, the love for the game. I mean, they love to run for each other. They love to pass the ball and to find new solutions, to play by the rules that they put together. And this passion, this love, make the difference. So, well deserved for them. On the other side, I'm really, really disappointed, to be honest. Really disappointed because, going back and see what happened the first leg for Inter, and from Kivu, change a lot of players. Now, today, no energy, no special effort. In order to win this game, you need a special effort. You need to put something more than what you usually do. And I didn't see that. So, it seems like, we're going to win or we're going to lose. Doesn't matter, we play the next one. No, this is Champions League. It's in and out. So it's not the league titles that you are comfortable with 7 points ahead. So that's the disappointment where it comes from. And beside economics and, numbers of players that you have and blah, 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 budget and blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely, and I think that was the feeling from a lot of the fans leaving San Siro, is the disappointment after going to the final. And Kate, you'll be happy to hear that we have a lot of the Bodo players that want to speak to you. Hauge, we'll also see if Jamie's doppelganger will come by and maybe we can do a live side-by-side.
Yes, I'd like to do that. All right, very cool. Thank you. Good to see you guys. See you in a minute. Christian Kivu, I guess I'm wondering, do you think he'll come under some scrutiny after this result, or does it not matter because of...
No, it does matter.
Okay.
It does matter big time. I keep on saying to you that they were top of the league in Italy by default. I said that a long time ago. We've been talking about it. The best team in Italy to play football is Como. We can talk about budget. We can talk about players in the team. I'm just saying that at the moment, and I think it was last week when you asked me surprise, I said the Italian team are where they're supposed to be at the moment. Unfortunately, and we're going to talk to Alessandro. He said it before. We're going to talk to Alessandro tomorrow because we're going to be in the same situation, the Italian team that has to come back into it. But right now, are you surprised with, okay, when you see Bodo, Glimt, Inter, you're kind of like, oh, what a surprise. But when you watch the game, there's no surprises, really, in terms of how the two teams played. One played together with the right attitude and everything above that you need to be as a team, as I mentioned before. And the other one played in a lethargic manner with not a lot of intensity in the game to be able to come back against any team in the world, even less against Bodo Glimt. So they are where they're supposed to be. He's going to have to answer the question of why so many players that didn't play there and why did it take the time so in an easy manner, if I can say, when they played in Bodo Glimt, because they have the Lecce game and they wanted to be 10 points ahead, which they are in the league now, 10 points ahead. But if we talk about the Italian league, it doesn't have a lot to answer with because it's top of the league with 10 points. Now, if we talk about the Champions League, it's going to have to answer some questions, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Napoli were already out before this stage, weren't they? They didn't make the cut for the playoffs. Then obviously Inter go out tonight. You've got Juventus and Atalanta who both have to kind of try and turn around deficits tomorrow. So Italian football team's definitely struggling. It's kind of weird when you think about the fact that Inter's a team we've seen do so well in these two-legged playoffs traditionally, especially recently.
Yeah, listen, they have been the real standout in Italian football in the last few years. Obviously getting to two finals. I mean, last season was a bit of a nightmare for them in some ways. You couldn't even sort of champion the fact that they got to the final last season because they were embarrassed so badly by PSG there. But obviously a couple of years before that, they were very unlucky not to beat Manchester City in the final. Missed a couple of chances later on, but they were a really top team with a top manager. But as Thierry says, it's like Inter Milan have sort of almost dropped with the rest of the Italian teams. And the fact they've got a big lead in Serie A, that's all you need to know. We've seen Liverpool go there and when Liverpool were having an absolute nightmare, in the Premier League and even in some games in Europe as well. Arsenal go there. I think three of the best players were on the bench. They win there so easily. And we want football to be competitive around Europe and the Champions League and to have sort of different teams from every country, but Italian football now looks like it's in a really bad place.
So how do you go from Thierry, from getting the Champions League final to displays like tonight? What's changed in terms of, is it the coaching? Is it the tactics?
Look,
was it just Bodo are a good team?
Bodo are a good team. There's nothing now. There's no question about that because of against who they did it, and at times again, and then had to that's twice now against Inter. They couldn't do it twice against the other team because they were in the league phase, right? But if you go to Inter, they went to 2 Champions League finals. They lost their coach. It's not easy to have a new coach, and I'm not having a go at Kivu. The question was, were there going to be questions raised about what he's done? Yes, in the Champions League, not so much in the league because you are ahead, but it is different. They attack in a different manner. You remember the centre back interchanging, the 3 midfielders going low to build. The 3 centre backs were going in midfield. That doesn't happen anymore. It's not the same. It seems like I said to you when I talk about being lethargic. Okay, then I talked about it was predictable. They were unpredictable last year on playing against big team. You didn't know what they were about to do. Bastoni was going crossing for the other centre back on the right. Obviously, he's the centre back on the left. It looks like at this team, the Inter Milan of Simone Inzaghi was ready to play against big teams, and they were struggling sometime against team at the bottom of the league. This team struggled against everybody, apart from obviously in the league. In the league, they managed to win and changing every time, and the rotation that they always have sometimes is a bit difficult to find that partnership that they need to have. But tactically, it is not the same Inter as the one of Simone Inzaghi. And then, are you going to judge Kivu just because he didn't win or go far in the Champions League? I think what won't look good is against who, but that team is pretty good, if you know what I mean. So in the league, it's still doing well. They're 10 points ahead. He's in Coppa d'Italia, so he's in a situation where he can win something that they didn't do for a little while, the double. So. But the question are going to be raised in the Champions League, especially the way they finished the league phase and what happened. You don't lose only there; you lost at home and away.
Where do you kind of rate this in terms of Champions League upsets that we've seen in history?
We're looking at some here, but I think this is right up there. I thought the days of these type of results, especially in the knockout rounds, I don't know if some of them are in the maybe group stage, but in the knockout rounds, this feels pretty big to me, and I didn't think things like this could happen as much now, which I don't think is actually good for the game. So this, for me, is absolutely fantastic. But what I would say is, we're saying this is a huge upset because of the name of Bodo Glimt. If you put a different name on their team and looked at their performance, we wouldn't almost say it was like a shock result, really, because they were a better team. And when you think of the results that they've had of late, they've won 4 games in a row in the Champions League. Inter Milan twice, Manchester City and Atletico Madrid.
That's crazy.
So maybe, give them a little bit more respect, Kate.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Unnecessary. We've been talking about Bodo Glimt getting that huge 5-2 aggregate win against Inter Milan, going through to the round of 16. Massive achievement. Their manager, I'm going to apologise for the mispronunciation of the name before I say it, Kjetil Knutsen. I hope I'm close enough. Very warm welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank you. It's amazing, huh?
It's an incredible story. I think everybody watching has just kind of fallen in love with Bodo Glimt, with the results against City and Atletico and Inter, and just doing it again against teams that, from the outside looking in, we think you shouldn't be able to be. What's been key to those victories for you?
First of all, thank you. We are so proud today. I don't think the key is so. It's something to find a clear identity, how you want to play football. You need to find the players who wants to do the job. And I think the most important for Bodø Glimt is what we are doing on the pitch every day. We're working really hard. We have find our way to do it. and we know we need to be innovative how we do things. We need to have intensity in our play, and it's for me now. We are in the preseason. We are out of season, and that's how we did it. 2 games against Inter. I can't actually believe it, but I think it's a good football history, and if we can do it, I think it's possible for many teams.
Boss, this is Thierry. Congratulations. I wanted to talk to you about, the mentality of the team. Obviously, you talk about the pressure, the togetherness, the will, the work, the tactic, whatever. But what I like today the most, personally, that's me. When Hauge scored the goal on the mistake of Akanji caused by your pressing when Bloomberg recovered the ball, he celebrated, but then he turned and he looked at Bloomberg in the way and he went, "Why you didn't pass the ball?" And I love that. I love that because his mentality straight away was like, we're supposed to be a team, and we could have been, and you went 1-0 up, but his first reaction was like, you should have passed that ball. And I love that. And I love that because I was like, this team is special because they call each other out even when they score and even when they're winning. So explain how did you develop that? How did you put that into that team?
But for me, this is kind of our culture. If is another player in a better position, play him, always. We are a little bit lucky because he take the second ball, and that's how it is. It's not it's just the way it is. But this is how we communicate, how we talk to the players, and this is for me culture. But if you talk about Ole Didrik Blomberg now, I think next time he will play to Jens Petter or someone else.
Well done.
Boss, you mentioned that you haven't played a competitive game of late. I think it's since the 30th of November. And how difficult is that where you just have Champions League games and friendlies in between?
It's really difficult. I think I'm so proud because we are out of season now. We play a game against Dortmund the 10th of December. And we have a couple of weeks off, and that we need to build up the players for being ready just for the pre-season, and then we have 3 weeks. You need to have trainings where you can train with a high enough intensity to be competitive in the games, but for me it's not easy. And you see, after the last game, before the Inter game at home, it was 3 weeks. And if you see the start of the home game, I don't think we don't have the intensity in the beginning of the game. So we need to build it up in the game, and we are a little bit lucky in the first half. And So it's not easy, but we have good sessions, and that is the key. What you are doing on the pitch.
Boss, how are you going to celebrate tonight? And what are the scenes like in the dressing room?
Yeah, hopefully you can come into the dressing room, but I'm not there. But maybe a little bit red one tonight. I think we need it, all of us.
Well, I said if you go through to the next round, I have to come to Norway. Can I come to dinner with you? Can I take you out? Can I see a training session?
Yeah, we can start with that you can see a training session. That's a good start.
No dinner? No? Valentine was just around the corner.
No, we can't start with a dinner. That's too easy for you.
There's been a lot of talk in the studio today over here that you actually have a kind of a resemblance. You and Jamie Carragher are relatively similar looking. Would you consider that a compliment, sir? Or how do you feel?
For me, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh! I don't think it's a compliment for him. I'm too old, but thank you.
Yeah. I'll take looking like him in 10 years' time. I'll take that. We'll shake on that.
You'd be very happy with that, wouldn't you, Jamie? Listen, congratulations. An incredible result.
Well done,
very
boss.
impressive. Well done.
See you in Norway. See you in Norway.
Oh, friend Friend of the show, Jens Petter.
Hauge!
Go ahead.
Congratulations, sir. How you doing?
Okay. No, yeah, but I take him. Yeah, it's
Really
enough.
tired and unbelievable happy. It was a difficult day, but in the end we are really happy.
Thank you, sir.
The coach said no to dinner. He said I could come to training, but could I take you out for dinner?
Let's have a dinner when you come to Bodo. I owe you that.
Ah, lovely.
It's on me. It's on me.
Oh, perfect. Jamie?
And how was it going back to the San Siro and getting that goal? Big moment for you.
It was a lot of pressure off my shoulder. The Milan fans are really passionate, and they put extra pressure on me today. But in the end, I'm feeling very good.
Yeah, Jens Peter, congratulations once again. And I want to talk about the celebration of your goal, because you scored a goal, you go 1-0, and the first thing that comes in your head is to look at Blomberg, and you kind of look at him and like, why you didn't pass the ball? We talked about it with your coach, and he talked that that's the culture. Pass the ball in the guy that is in a better position.
Yeah, it's small details that can change matches, and I was a little bit surprised that he didn't pass the ball, but in the end it was a goal, and we are happy. But next time if you don't score, it's maybe a different match. So we have to play for each other, we have to help each other, and then the team will do good.
And I also wanted to talk to you about your assist, because at the beginning, again with Blomberg, you had the ball, you looked at him, and then you were patient enough to see the second run, which was a good one. But what made you doubt to pass the ball first one to Blomberg, and you waited, you were patient to see the run of Evian, if I don't pronounce the name well, excuse me.
Maybe I was still a little bit mad at him because he didn't pass the ball, so no chance I'm playing him. What a finish, what a finish.
Yeah, it was a great finish. Well done.
Where does today's game, today's performance kind of rate for you personally? Champions League, qualifying for the round of 16 in the San Siro, doing it against Inter Milan. Where is this for you in terms of personal bests?
It's the best. It's nothing like this. It's against Inter in the knockout in the Champions League. Right now we cannot think of any match or nothing that beat this.
Okay, before you go, I'm coming to Norway, round of 16. We're going for dinner. Tell me what's on the menu, please, sir.
What you want? I think you want a big steak. with a lot of fries and yeah.
Not reindeer.
Which sauce you like?
Not reindeer, not herring.
What? Sorry?
Reindeer or herring?
Reindeer.
Ah, you want reindeer?
We want some Norwegian food.
I check in my garden.
So good to see you, Jens Petter.
Well done,
We're looking
Jens.
forward to it. Congrats
Well done,
again.
well done, well
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy it. God bless you. Thank you so much.
What did you say? Steak and fries?
Yeah,
Steak?
No, why you have
That's
to
just
go
his
there?
accent.
Just, you
Steak.
know.
He's funny,
Steak and
yeah.
fries. He doesn't know about slim meeks.
I know,
He doesn't
yeah.
know.
What was actually, we were talking before off air and trying to find out a team like Bodo Glimt that are not playing at the moment, the off-season, being able to do what they did in the Champions League, knock out Inter, the team that they beat, that has to be up there with one of the, best, you would say, surprise of the, in the history. Because the game that we had there before had group stage game, when team won a game, you knock them out, and you're off-season. And you're not supposed to be that team, which already we talked about. We know they are that team. I'm talking about how it looks. I think it has to be one of the best stories in terms of where they are, who they are, and who they did beat, especially tonight, twice.
How far is
we
Norway?
go last week.
How far is it? It's a long way for you.
Is it? Can I get a train there?
Oh, you're going to arrive next
So
year.
that's a really long way. It's a waste of time, isn't it? To get a train all the way to Norway,
I'll
you
go
could get there
train.
in...
I'd rather go train than fly.
Oh, goodness me.
Imagine beauty, countryside, yeah.
What's the lights there? Is it the Northern Lights?
The Northern
Northern
Lights.
Lights, yeah.
Nico was supposed to see them, didn't see them, I don't think. Hopefully you will. Imagine we get to do an interview with you live with the Northern Lights in the back. Be very cool.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, maybe you should take a special someone.
Oh,
That was supposed to be very romantic.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Interesting.
I'll take Jamie.